Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to dive into something that I think is super relevant to, well, pretty much all of us, right? Building a positive mindset.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to our careers and businesses. You know, those things that can be pretty demanding sometimes. And I was actually just listening to this podcast episode with Elijah Okafor, you know?
Yeah.
The financial expert and entrepreneur. He had some really great points about this. I thought it'd be awesome to kind of unpack some of that together today. What do you think?
I think that's a great idea. I think, especially in the Nigerian context,
Totally.
it's a really important topic. A lot of people, when they hear the phrase positive mindset, they immediately think of like being happy all the time, which is just not realistic. It's not sustainable, especially not in a tough business environment.
Yeah. And I think, I don't know about you, but for me, like when I first started getting into this whole self-development world, I kind of fell into that trap a little bit,
Yeah.
Trying to force this overly cheerful, persona all the time. And it just, it wasn't authentic. It felt fake.
Exactly. It's almost like putting on a mask, and it's not sustainable.
Yeah.
And Elijah Okafor, actually, he had this, I think, a really great way of defining it. He said, instead of thinking of it as just being happy all the time, it's more about being solution oriented.
Oh, I like that.
Right. Like seeing the challenges as something you can overcome.
Yeah.
And viewing setbacks as almost like tuition. You pay tuition on the road to success. You learn from those setbacks.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. Okay. So, I mean, that sounds great in theory, but I'm curious, how do we put that into practice? Because, he talked a lot about gratitude, and I know that's a big thing, but I got to be honest, there are some days where it's hard to find things to be grateful for. You know what I mean? When you're in the thick of it.
Absolutely. And I think Elijah addresses that head on. He says, even when you're facing those major setbacks, and he uses the example, imagine you've had a failed product launch.
Yeah.
Or, a deal falls through.
Right.
Instead of focusing on, the negative side, the failure side, he says, try to find those small wins.
Okay.
Maybe you gained valuable market research from that failed launch.
Right.
Maybe you learned a crucial negotiation tactic from that lost deal. Or even if it's as simple as, you had one customer that was super supportive and really believed in your product, that can be a source of gratitude that's intentionally shifting your focus to what you have accomplished, not just dwelling on what's missing.
Oh, I love that. See, this is why we do these deep dives. I need to write that down and put it on my on my bathroom mirror.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, but what about, sometimes things really go wrong. Let's talk about failure, because that's a reality, especially for entrepreneurs here in Nigeria. Things are tough. How do we deal with that?
Yeah, and I think Elijah's perspective on failure is so refreshing because he actually embraces it. He even has this quote, "Failure doesn't define you. It prepares you."
I like that.
Right. And he encourages us to actually analyze what went wrong. Ask ourselves those tough questions. Why did this fail? What could I have done differently? And then use those answers to improve.
Okay. So instead of beating ourselves up, spending all this energy on the self-blame, we use that energy to actually dissect it and figure out how not to do it again.
Exactly.
Love that.
I think that analytical approach is so important, especially in, the Nigerian business landscape, because it's competitive. Things move so fast.
Right.
And you need to be able to adapt and learn from every experience.
Okay. So we've got gratitude. We're learning from failure.
Yeah.
He also talks about, the people you surround yourself with.
Right. Yeah.
And I've noticed that too. If I'm spending a lot of time with people who are negative, it really impacts my mindset.
He says it's contagious.
Right.
Positivity is contagious.
Yeah.
But so is negativity.
Oh, yeah.
And I think as entrepreneurs, we need to be so intentional about our networks. Seek out mentors who inspire you. Join supportive communities, or even if it's just following thought leaders you admire on social media, that can have a big impact.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I remember there was this time I was feeling really discouraged about my business, and I ended up meeting this incredible group of female entrepreneurs, and just their energy was so positive, and they were so supportive, and it just it totally shifted my perspective just being around them.
That is a perfect example. Surrounding yourself with those people can provide that like much needed boost and reminder that you're not alone on this journey.
Yeah.
So it's a good point to think about, like your own circle. Are the people you're spending the most time with, are they lifting you up?
Yeah.
Or are they kind of dragging you down?
Right. Yeah. It really is a choice, isn't it? Like who we choose to spend our time with.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got gratitude. We're learning from failures. We're surrounding ourselves with, positive influences.
Yeah.
But I think it's also important to remember that a positive mindset, it's not like a magic bullet.
Right.
We still have to put in the work.
Absolutely. And Elijah makes this really great analogy. He says, like, mindset is the foundation.
Okay.
But action is what you build upon it.
Right.
So a positive mindset might help you to see those opportunities, but you still need to put in the effort.
Yeah.
You need a plan, consistent action, good old-fashioned hard work.
It's not going to just like magically happen.
Exactly. It's not wishful thinking.
Right. So it's more like it gives us the strength and the motivation to do those things, to face those challenges.
Concisely.
Yeah.
And I think that's really relevant for us, as entrepreneurs in Nigeria, because we face a lot of unique challenges,
right?
But we also have these incredible opportunities.
Yeah.
And a positive mindset allows us to seize those opportunities with, confidence and resilience.
I love that. Okay, so if we had to like boil all this down, to one key takeaway for our listener, what would you say it is?
You know what? I think Elijah's closing message really sums it up perfectly.
Right.
He says, each journey is unique. So avoid comparisons that steal your joy.
Ooh.
Celebrate your own wins, no matter how small.
Yeah.
And keep striving toward your goals. Your path to success is going to be different from anyone else's.
Right.
And that's okay.
Oh, I love that. So good. So, listener, as you're going about your day today, think about those goals that you're working towards and ask yourself, what's one small step I can take today to cultivate a more positive approach?
Yes.
Maybe it is practicing gratitude. Maybe it's, looking at a past mistake and analyzing it. Maybe it's reaching out to someone who inspires you.
Yeah.
But it all starts with that one step.
One step at a time.
That's it for our deep dive today. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Of course.
Bye.
See ya.